Contestant number 7, Marty Ruiz. Your mother always knows. Your mother always knows, Marty Ruiz.
The room was filled with the kind of squeals and joyful laughter that only happy children know how to make. And then my mother walked in. I'm Martin David Ruiz. In my family, this was not a good sign. My mother used all 3 of my given names, and she said them in Spanish. Ay, mijo, why don't you go outside and play with the other little boys, and let Sonia play with her own Barbie dolls? What my Mexican mamacita did not understand was that I was having a blast playing with that plastic action figure with the to die for wardrobe. At the tender age of 9, I found my bliss. And it was made by Mattel. When I was young, I used to wonder what my mother would think if she knew I was, well, different. Well, it really doesn't matter what you think, because regardless of what you believe, your mother always knows, right?
Right.
Mr. Contest Master, my fellow do-rag Toastmasters and dignitaries, and anyone who's ever had a love affair with an anatomically perfect, high-fashion doll. If it's okay with everybody in the room, I'd like to ask you a question. How many of you here have ever felt like you just didn't quite fit in? Well, I knew even then that I was not like other boys. I just didn't have a name for it yet. And somewhere along the way, I would soon discover that name. Now, role models are very important to a child. And my mom did her darndest to find just the right one for me. Now, I don't really like to go around mentioning any names, so we'll just call him Beer Guzzling Stepfather. Marty, you need to stop stringing that doggone love beads. That ain't right. That ain't manly. Fast forward to my teen years. It's 1973. It's Mother's Day. Oh. And because nothing was too good for my mom, I decided to treat her to the most fabulous brunch at the most elegant restaurant I knew. Pancho's all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet. Now, this gourmet meal was part of my master plan. My mother loved Mexican food, and I knew I was going to be going out disco dancing late that night with my friends. So this guaranteed that any possible guilt trip was completely out of the way and eradicated by the steady supply of chalupas, chimichangas, and sopapillas. So I thought, because no matter what you believe,
your mother always knows.
I know, right? Well, after it, I was singing duets with Donna Summer, learning how to do the YMCA, and drinking way too many pina coladas. I arrived home around 3 a.m. Oh, did I happen to mention I was wearing a light blue polyester leisure suit? And white patent shoes. Oh yeah, baby. Now, as I approached the front door of the house, I noticed it was partially open. And just inside, I could barely make out the cherry hot tip of a cigarette smoldering in the dark. Mom, what are you doing up this late? I'm Martin David Ruiz. Today I received a phone call from somebody. And do you know what they told me? Happy Mother's Day. No! They told me something I suspected for a very long time. They said that you were that way. Is it true? Oh. Finally, the chance to be completely honest with my own mother, the woman who gave me life. No! What was I doing? Your mother always knows. Well, after a couple of days of awkward silence, and the two of us disco dancing around the elephant in the room, the Mexican Inquisition began. So, was it all those Shogun albums I bought you? Do you want to see a doctor? I didn't know there was a vaccine. The Inquisition continued. So, do you want to be a florist? Maybe you want to help me highlight my hair. Where does this stuff come from? I was just grateful that we weren't Catholic. I could just imagine my mother trying to fix me. Maybe you need to see a priest. A priest? Now, who thought that would have been a good idea? Besides, I was already seeing a flight attendant. In closing, to leave you with this thought, I think my mother always knew about the young man who was seeing that flight attendant. My mother always knew about the boy who strung up beats. My mother even knew about the little boy who had found Barbie bliss. Because no matter what we believe,
Your mother always knows.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, a mother always knows her own child. And through unconditional love, she finally grew to accept her son for who he truly was. And after all, isn't that all any of us really want? To be loved, to be accepted, and just to know that we fit in. Mr. Contest,